This is going to be a variation on our ball rollout position, which engages a little bit of our abdominals, hip flexor, with some coordination through muscles that control scapular position. So what I find with people is that if this is a little too challenging on their abdominal control, as they start to slide out, and especially as they start to come down onto their elbows, if they're a little weak in their trunk, when they get here, they get too far, and then to pull back, their back starts to arch when they go to come back into this position. So having a wall as a little bit of a stopping point is helpful, right? So as I get a little closer, I always start with my hands a little bit towards the down slope, towards me on the ball. And then I'm going to very slowly, I like to keep my thumbs up to maintain a little external rotation through my shoulder. I'm going to let the ball roll away. And as it rolls away, I'm going to start to lean on it a little bit. Now here with this door as a stopping point, it's going to stop me from going too far. And even in this position, I want to make sure my shoulders are down, and that downward position comes along with my butt staying tucked underneath me. I'm going to press down into this ball like I'm trying to smash it through the floor as I come back up. All right, so just quickly again, thumbs up. I let the ball start to roll away. As it gets further away from me, I start to follow it. So I'm leaning on my hands here a little bit. I have my chin slightly tucked down, and I'm going to press down into that ball as I pull my butt underneath me and come back. And if I have good control of my stomach and no back pain or no issues, I'll go a little further away. So same concept, ball starts to roll away to where my elbows start to straighten out, and then I start to follow the ball, and I'm starting to basically come down towards being on my forearms. And then once again, that wall is my stopping point. Same thing here, I'm trying to press that ball down into the ground, which gives me a little bit more awareness of my abdominals, making sure my back is not doing this, right? And I'm driving that ball into the ground as I come back up. So really looking at progressing further and further from that wall, as long as I feel like I'm able to control my stomach and not feeling like I'm dropping into the sag of my lower back. And just so you can kind of see the progression of this, once again, I let my arms start off on the down slope of the ball, thumbs up, my elbows straighten, and then once my elbows are straight, I start to let my whole body kind of tip over, right, following this ball. And as I start to get further down, my elbows start to bend, and I let myself kind of come down onto my forearms. Same thing here. Even as that ball rolls away, I'm not up towards my ears. I'm trying to suck my shoulders down, and now I'm much further from that wall. So I get a little further out. I feel like I'm working a lot harder. It's the same downward pressure into that ball as I come back up. So a little bit of guidance so you don't go too far too fast. Really making sure that you keep that awareness in your lower abdomen. And if you have a mirror, if you have somebody watching you, really make sure your back doesn't go into that arch position. The tricky part of this is really that pressing down typically engages my lat, which makes me want to do this, right? And then if I release that and I start to want to round or tuck my pelvis under me, I tend to want to compensate by rounding my shoulders up. So it is kind of tricky to where you want to pull your shoulders down, but you still want to keep your butt tucked underneath you. So it's almost like the two ends are fighting against each other, and you're trying to keep a happy medium where your lower back doesn't just get sucked into this, or your mid back doesn't get rounded into this.